Dennis Rodman is a player every basketball fan knows. He was an all-star and one of the premier players on the Bad Boys teams during his time in Detroit, helped David Robinson make San Antonio a household name, and was part of the Bulls' Big Three with Pippen and Jordan, which brought Chicago a second three-peat during the Jordan era. He did this all while being perhaps the greatest rebounder basketball has ever seen, even with the odds stacked up against him. What many fans do not know about are his two final seasons in the NBA, which he spent with the Los Angeles Lakers and Dallas Mavericks. These were the final breaths of Dennis Rodman's life in the NBA, and in this video we will be taking an in-depth look behind how both he played during these stints and the stories behind them. After the 1997-98 season, where the Bulls won their sixth championship, the Bulls started a massive rebuilding phase, largely at the behest of then general manager Jerry Krause. Head coach Phil Jackson and several members of the team left via free agency or retirement, including Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, and Judd Buechler. Rodman was released by the Bulls on January 21st, 1999, before the start of the lockout-shortened 1998-99 season. With his sister acting as his agent at the time, Rodman joined the Los Angeles Lakers. Rodman would join a team that included Kobe Bryant, who was a full-time starter beginning this season, Shaquille O'Neal, who was in his second season with the Lakers, and another aging star who was playing his last NBA season with the Lakers that year, Derek Harper. While Rodman's 23-game stint with the Lakers could be considered successful for the team since they went 17-6 with him in the lineup, it was apparent that Rodman had slowed down and was not the player he used to be. While he had 7 games with 15-plus rebounds, one of them where he recorded 20 rebounds, and had played 42-plus minutes in 2 games, his field goal percentage had decreased greatly. Along with decreasing in skill as a player, his time with the team was hectic. During his 23 games, he had refused to check back into the game 4 times when asked to by coaches. He would also miss 4 games when he left the team for 8 days because of personal issues. It was during this time he would end his 5-month marriage with Carmen Electra. While with the team, he was not well received by other players or coaches. Derek Harper was quoted as saying, "We can't afford another distraction from him. I'm not management, but if it happens again, that'd be it." Kobe Bryant would also say, "We get called a party team all the time, and that's not what all of us do. Some of us take this seriously." In response to these comments made by his teammates, Rodman responded by saying, "They depend on me to keep this ship afloat. It's amazing to me that a person who doesn't score, doesn't make Michael Jordan type moves, is expected to come in and win a championship for a team in total disarray. Am I a genius? Am I a miracle worker? Am I God? No, but I have a gift." A quote which was, in total Rodman fashion, ridiculous. The Worm's time with the Lakers would come to an end after coach Kurt Rambis had enough of his antics. After showing up late to a team practice and being slow getting ready because he couldn't find his socks or shoes, Rambis told Rodman to go home. Rodman did not enjoy his stay with the Lakers by any means, and claims this all stemmed from Kobe and Shaq having beef. He felt the team was immature and complained too much. However, he does tell a story about how he and then Lakers owner Jerry Buss had gone gambling together. However, this cannot be confirmed. After being waived on April 16, 1999, it would be almost a whole year before Rodman would make his return to the NBA. After purchasing the Dallas Mavericks in January of 2000, Mark Cuban was looking to bring some entertainment to the Mavs and would sign Dennis Rodman in February for pure entertainment reasons. However, initially other Mavs players saw the Rodman signing as a potential upgrade for them. Forward Cedric Ceballos stated he saw some situations during a game against the Pistons where Rodman would have been a factor on the boards, and was quoted as saying, "He's here to help us out, and he's definitely going to help us out." Rodman, who went to high school in Dallas, would only end up playing 12 games with the Mavericks, however, and while he started all 12 of these games and had 171 rebounds during them, he would only score 34 points, while still putting up a terrible field goal percentage and getting a lot of playing time. On top of this, the team would only go 4-8 during this stretch. He would also end up being ejected from 2 of those games, and after one of them, challenged Commissioner David Stern to a boxing match naked, a match David Stern would have lost in more than one way. Something to point out is that Rodman averaged 14.3 rebounds per game during his time with the Mavs. This would have been enough to lead the league had he played enough games to qualify. While he definitely gave Cuban what he wanted in the spectacle department with his personality, Rodman could not give the team what they needed from him as a player, and thus could not justify keeping him. Dallas guard Steve Nash commented that Rodman never wanted to be a Maverick, and therefore was unmotivated. Rodman would be cut on March 8th, the day after making comments criticizing Cuban for being too chummy with the players as an owner. However, it's apparent that these comments did not bother Cuban much, since the two are friends now, and Rodman has stayed with Cuban in his guest house. After the 12-game stay in Dallas, Rodman's time in the NBA was over. He would play in the ABA some for the Long Beach Jam and Orange County Crush, as well as play in Mexico for 2 different teams, and play in 1 game for a team in Finland. During this time, he had hoped to be picked up by an NBA team so he could make a return to the league, but that never happened. In spring of 2006, however, he would play in 2 exhibition games in the Philippines, along with NBA ex-stars Daryl Dawkins, Kevin Willis, Calvin Murphy, Otis Birdsong, and Alex English. In his 2 games with this team, Rodman scored 5 points and grabbed 18 rebounds in one of them, and scored 3 points and recorded 16 rebounds in the other. After this, he would also go on to star in one of the greatest movies ever made, The Minis. In 2011, he would be elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame, and the rest was history. Rodman's twilight years, all in all, were nothing memorable or special to the average fan. But Rodman being the player he was, and the person he is, he was always a fun part of the NBA and will always be loved or hated by fans from every team. That's why it is so interesting to see how his career ended. One of the thoughts that hit me while doing research for this video was imagining a prime Rodman on both of these teams. The best rebounder of all time teamed up with Shaq and Kobe, who were just a year away from beginning their three-peat together, could have possibly meant a 4th championship for the duo. Or even having the Worm in his all-star form on the same team that had a young big 3 with Dirk, Finley, and Nash, along with solid big man Sean Bradley, could have possibly made the Mavs more of a threat in the Western Conference at the time. Of course, this was highly implausible even at the times of these signings, with Rodman being 37 and 38 years old during these seasons, but it is still fun to think about.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. Obviously this was my first one. Dennis Rodman's my favorite player, so I chose to do a video over him. With this being my first one, it's a little rough, I know. My first time really writing my own script, my first time editing video, audio, all that. So if you want to, please let me know where I can get better. Also, give me ideas on something I can do a video on because I hope to make more of these. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.